So when you look at accents and arts, first of all, I want to know exactly where you get all your inspiration from. Looking at your profile, so many different, diverse things that you've got going on there.
Yeah.
And where do you plan to go with all of this?
Okay. Well, if you look at my pieces, you notice that there's a basic theme that runs through them. And most of the pieces tend to be nature inspired.
Okay.
So you see butterflies, you see plants, you see all sorts. I think for me that's, I love plants and I love nature. So just walking in the garden alone, I can come up with thousands and thousands of designs. I think God is God is the creative best designer that we have. And even if you look at this orchid sitting, the table next to you, look at the colors. And from there, you picked up the the theme for your background, isn't it? So it's
my
just
favorite.
Exactly.
I love orchids.
So just looking at colors and you being able to blend them, it's the basis for anything that you do once you design, really.
Now, you recently had an art exhibition, so we
Yeah.
just want to take a look at it and show the viewers what you did, and then we'll come back. So let's take a look at that. Guests were surprised as they entered a room filled with unusually somber and introspective cast of some of Constance Swaniker's finest arts. Constance, who is popularly known for her elegant household furnishings and accessories at Accents and Arts, showed another side of her work, sculpting, at her exhibition called The Passage of Discovery at the Artists Alliance Gallery.
When I set out to do this exhibition, I wanted to create a shock element because I think the themes have just been overused. It's the same traditional things all the time, and I wanted to create pieces that was just out of the box. If you notice, some of the pieces are a bit not conventional, so that was the whole idea. So I'm hoping that this would be a leverage to encourage a lot of the other artists to just take their art to the international level.
Since the year 2000, Constance Swaniker has produced a consistent body of quality crafted and beautifully decorated household accessories, furniture, accents, and sculptures. All of her work shows skillful and artistic use of wood, cloth, paper, glass to bring out the beauty of metallic works. Amidst the artworks was an arresting work entitled Weapon of Mass Destruction, in the form of a headless male torso. Between his legs, in place of a male member, there hangs a huge pistol. It represented a violent continent where rape has been used deliberately as a weapon of war, and a lot of men still see it as part of a discourse between the sexes.
The things over here are exceptional in terms of her artwork, because they're all used to her doing, a lot of using iron and metal to do beautiful furniture and making gates and so on. For a lot of the hotels and so on, I've been using furniture made of iron. And then today I come here and it's artwork, exceptional artwork.
I'm really enjoying it. I'm new to Ghana, so this is like the first artsy thing I've had an opportunity to do, so I'm very excited.
This show uncovered a world of art lovers right here in Ghana. But how would this exhibition affect the future of artists in Ghana?
Things like this, with Constance work, Ghanaians, once we see someone doing it, we want to do the same thing and try and do it better. So let's hope we'll get more of this stuff, especially seeing a woman up like this. The women. I'm going to go for that as well. I can do it too. So let's see if we can find people, coming up like that.
However, there is evidence for the challenges that these artists face.
Well, first of all, access to markets, that's a major one. The access to market is a major one. And then, of course, apart from that, Alliance galleries, there is no other space for exhibitions.
People don't initially take you seriously because, one, they look at you just because you're a woman, you look like this. Are you sure you're the artist? Are you sure you're even capable of even getting your hands dirty? I think that's an insult, and I think that notion should change. It's an emerging market of people who are investing in art now. Art is investment. I mean, if you look abroad, people rather invest heavily in art, rather than real estate and other things. So I'm praying that will change.
With the evolution of art in Ghana, it was indeed exhilarating to see a woman maintain such momentum and be as passionate for art regardless of some of the challenges faced. many people came to that exhibition. Amazing. I didn't even know you were into sculpting until I came into that exhibition room. So how my favorite piece, I need to tell you this, was the weapons of mass destruction.
All right.
Yeah. How did you even come up with that concept?
Actually, I picked up a magazine and I was just flipping through, and then there was a whole write-up about, the Congo, war in Congo, and Liberia and Libya, currently Libya, and how rape was used, a whole town, and then you have soldiers going in raping almost all the women in the village. And I thought, well, this is such a shame that as a man, how can you use whatever God gave you to abuse women like that? And I thought, well, in times of war, it's now a weapon. So that's how I came up with the inspiration, the concept to speak out and voice against it. And I'm glad it was such a hit at the show. Yeah,
everyone was looking at it. What are some of the interpretations that other people had? Do you have any idea?
I think there was one lady who said for her, the AIDS surge, and there again, men not respecting themselves, and that you're just everywhere. We live in an African society where men can have as many as 5 girlfriends at a go, and is that responsible? So I'm glad it spoke out to people, and a lot of the men actually even identified with it, because it was almost so embarrassing that it's true, isn't it? You know what I mean? So
wow. Okay, well, it was very fun. It was very exciting being there. What's your favorite piece, though?
Skeletons in the closet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
It just generally talks about life. We all have skeletons in the closet. I mean, we've all done things that we're really not proud of. And the meaning behind that piece, we live in an African society where when somebody dies and you're going through their things, we have this ceremony that I think 1 week after, they bring out all the person's things and they're going through. And you can imagine you find old letters and things that
you never expected.
Exactly. So then immediately your perception of that person changes, isn't it? So that's
but you didn't use skeletons. You used like
a dress. Yes.
A dress.
I didn't want to use things that were so cliche.
Yeah.
So it was just the suitcase and the dress. It was an installation actually. So
wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, what advice do you have to all these young entrepreneurs who are watching you and they have some kind of, they're good with their hands, they're able to sculpt, do furniture. What can you tell them?
I think if you're talented, you should explore it, because growing up I hated math, and my mother would every morning beat me for not being able to do the long division in time, and my sister was so good at figures. She ended up being a chartered accountant. I told my mom, but she was the one who also realized that I was always very quiet and I was always just drawing. So she actually encouraged me to go into the arts.
Wow.
So if you're talented, develop on it. Talent is now industry, it's now big business. It's not just about going to school and being a lawyer. I mean, that's in the past.
Yeah.
If you're talented, whatever you do it and do it properly.
And that's it?
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Well, thank you very much for joining us here. And you've heard it from Constance Swaniker, the CEO of Accents and Arts. I do urge you all to go out there, check on the website for the location, how to get there. But you can find beautiful pieces of furniture, paintings, accents for your house. It's just beautiful. And she's such an inspiration to me. Just when you get there, just try and have a chat with her. Maybe you could get inspired even more. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back in a moment.